Hey everybody, how you doing? It is, what time is it? And it's almost 8 o'clock. The reason I look like this right now is I get up about 4, and I've been going all day. I took a couple days off 3 days off to edit a bunch of, search, edit, and narrate a bunch of videos. And then yesterday I was going to get back to it and just get a bunch of work done, and I had the most ridiculous headache. My skin was burning and like pressure headache. I don't get headaches ever, very very seldom. But I don't know if it was from all the editing or what was going on. But that'll definitely give you a headache. If anybody's ever been into a dark room or a editing room, developing photos or editing film, editing music, and you end up 10 hours later, you realize, oh geez, I need to go eat. It's like a little time warp. So that's what happened with me. I ended up doing that for like 3 days straight. Actually, it was kind of fun, minus having to like relive all that stuff. But yeah, it kind of reminded me of when I worked back at the base, editing videos back in the studio. Uh, Pardon my um, this. I just wanted to do a video, kind of updating everybody on what's going on. I I did something that was really, really damn scary. I know it's the right thing to do, but it was not easy. Um, I basically fired my attorney. I couldn't go through with this plea deal. I'm not going to do this. Um, and I think this is going to turn out good. Gonna. I'm so tired. Forget to use my broadcasting voice when I'm this tired. Oh, what's my train of thought? Oh my gosh. I heard Karen Stewart do this last night on Ella. What in the hell was I just talking about? Oh, yeah, I fired my attorney. I told him I wanted my money back. Told him I wanted to reject my plea deal and go to trial. Or, well, there's a couple other things. I'm trying not to go to trial. There's a couple of things that I can do. Like, well, I won't go through all the details, but I've got a strategy of what I'm going to do. And I figure this, this outcome, if I just take a plea deal, I'm going to end up in this system where they micromanage every second. I mean, they already started. I talked to this probation officer, and she's asking me all kinds of different questions on how they can counsel me and make sure this doesn't happen again. And I can go through veterans court and all these different things that I can do, and asking me about my health, if I do community service, stuff like that. Psych eval, all of these things. Nah, I'm not going to jump into that. So here's the way this will go. Either way, I go to trial, or I go to court, and they drop the case because exculpatory evidence hasn't been provided, and a bunch of other different things, and conflicting statements and proof from the plaintiff. So hopefully the prosecuting attorney's keeping an eye on this stuff, on what I'm showing, and going to see that I'm going to fight this out in court and show this, one way or the other. So whether that's pro se or in a different way, who knows? It's hard to say between now and then. I could get screwed. when you're targeted, that tends to happen. Things happen that don't make any sense at all, and nobody will give you an explanation. It's like you have to take it. So I figure if that happens, and they throw me in jail somehow, I'll go to jail. Prison, actually. I'd be in prison with violent offenders, murderers and rapists and you name it, all those guys. I'd go in there with those guys. If that's what it takes to stop this nonsense, and get a lot more attention on this subject than there has been, then maybe that's just what needs to happen. Or hopefully the justice system will work properly. I'll provide all of my evidence or whatever steps I need to do. I'll take those steps. They'll drop this so I can get back to life. And, this life that we're going through right now. But I see good things happening. I really hope to see this military tribunal like yesterday. What I wouldn't give to still be in the Air National Guard with a bunch of people that are going to go arrest a bunch of deep state thugs and criminals, pedophiles, like the real criminals, and start to help in some way figure out who was put away unjustly, get those people out. Trump actually, my phone's going off. Trump actually worked out some kind of deal with the police union, and they're starting to release some prisoners back into society, into neighborhoods on the East Coast, I believe. I didn't read a lot on that, but that's something good to look up, how he's doing that, because we do have the largest prison population per capita in the United States. I'm sorry, I'm not talking very loud. I just realized that. Sorry. All right. I'm going to try to keep going here. I've literally been working since 4 o'clock this morning. It's 8 right now. I haven't taken any breaks. Taking the kids different places, running around, playing taxi, which I don't mind. It's fine. Gives me a little break. Get out of here. Go to the post office. Go to different places. But yeah, I told my attorney I want to reject my plea deal. I want to have a trial, or at least present what I need to, and see if I can get that done. Take care of what I need to, and then get back to this. What else was I going to update? Sorry about the nose scratching and all that. I got dust on my face and cardboard from boxes and stuff. Here, I'm going to brag a little bit, or I don't know if it's bragging. It's just, I'm going to read some letters that got sent to me. I went to the post office today. Of course, I got messed with while I was there, and there was a couple perps walking in when I was leaving the post office. They always enter and exit at the exact same time. So these guys were coming in right when I was leaving, and I was grabbing my mail and I'm looking through it and I went, oh, cool, FBI, all right, NSA, and then I threw an extra one in there that wasn't in there. I said CIA. But I just had a letter from somebody that used to work for the NSA and a letter from somebody that used to work for the FBI. So that's all I said. NSA, FBI. This guy looks at me and he's like, this guy is out of his mind. He thinks the FBI and the NSA are sending him letters. This crazy guy, he must be... Sorry, I don't need to be... I should settle down. It's just so ridiculous, the way some of these people act. So I'll read these letters. I'll start with Karen's. Karen was the first person found online talking about this that I realized what was going on, and contacted her. I can't remember what I sent her, but I've stayed in contact with her ever since, and she's been awesome, an awesome person. She's a lot of you have her to thank for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of research without a paycheck and advocation and helping us. I mean, you cannot even imagine what it took. Well, yeah, some of you can't imagine. I'm sorry. What am I saying? Because you've researched this much too, but you understand what I'm saying. You understand what I'm saying. All right, so this probation officer called me because I had signed the plea deal, and I was going to end up having to go on probation and do whatever they do on probation. And real quick, when I was in the what do they call that processing meeting? I believe something like that. Right when I got out of court, they said, "Okay, you need to go talk to this probation processing guy," and he asked you like a million questions about everything. He even asked me, "Is your dog vicious?" And I was like, "Shouldn't you start with like, do you have a good dog?" You know, like, no, he's not vicious. Unless you try to like break in my house or get in my car while I'm driving, like some people have. Anyway, that guy pointed real quick on this little piece of paper. If you have any letters, you can send it to the judge. Here's where you send them. And then I was like, okay. And then we went to something else, and we're going through all this stuff, and we got done. I'm like, where is this address to send these letters? I know some people do some letters for me. Couldn't find it anywhere, so I talked to the probation officer and got that information from her. And she goes, all right, well, if you do get any letters, they have to be to me by 5 o'clock tomorrow. So Karen and Gerald were nice enough to immediately write these up and send them to me digitally, and then go to the post office, send them to me in the mail. So these go to the probation officer, and then the judge has to read this. So this is a good start. If the judge already knows about this, then it doesn't matter. But if he has no idea, then it's the first time he's reading this, then he might be like, okay, I don't get letters like this normally, I would imagine. So this is what Karen saying. I'll do my best Air Force Network NPR voice. No, I'm just kidding. God, I shouldn't do this after I've been working all day. I'm sorry. I can't even. Do I sound like a Canadian? I keep saying I'm sorry. Sorry, eh? It's not a bad thing to apologize, especially if you fuck up. Oh, man, I'm supposed to be keeping this professional. Especially right before I read this letter, I say that, yeah, we're all human, right? All right, this is from Karen Stewart, former NSA analyst, 28 years. November 8th, 2018. I mean, she got this to me like 20 minutes after I asked for it. Making sure I'm still recording. All right. I have known Michael Barden for well over a year, with almost constant contact with him in an area of activism which deeply concerns us both. I find him honest, forthright, brave, and determined to ethically and legally fight wrongdoing with efforts to educate the public. He has certainly gotten illegal and unethical backlash from that, as many of us have. I was an intelligence analyst for the National Security Agency with a top secret clearance for about 30 years. He held a similar position of trust, serving his country in the Air Force. Our sense of duty did not stop when we ceased our jobs protecting the U.S. I will say that we share experience and knowledge concerning a type of governmental hysteria that is gripping our nation and causing decidedly unprofessional ways, all under the guise of national security. In order to support the growing police state, a network of fusion centers was set up by the FBI throughout the U.S. According to the law firm Bernhoft Law, a main fusion center has been caught fabricating parallel construction files on completely innocent people in order to target them as threats to the community. Parallel construction. I told my attorney that, and he laughed at me. We'll see how funny that is when this comes out. Officials at fusion centers and affiliated law enforcement are encouraged to perjure themselves to bring down the target any way they can, to include falsifying police reports as well as actually perjuring themselves on the witness stand. The fabricated accusations are kept secret by false classification, contrary to law United States Code 18, Section 241 and 242, and the Fourth Amendment. The conspiracy tramples the civil and constitutional rights of falsely accused individual and falsely portrays him as a crook, pedophile, terrorist, or mentally ill, all for a numbers game. It keeps fusion centers' budgets high and police state growing in the police state growing in a subversion of our constitutional republic into a duplicitous and ill-intended police state to serve self-appointed elitists. Mike has played a critical role in exposing this creeping, covert danger to our country and our freedoms at no small risk to himself. That's no lie. He is not the only one to He is not the only one to experience constant harassment and false allegations from civilian vigilante force associated with the fusion centers called InfraGard, which, by the way, employs known criminals within its ranks. InfraGard, and then there's also SSG, which is a secret surveillance group, the FBI, and then Citizen Corps, and there's a bunch of them. Ask yourself how Mike suddenly could have changed character and become a criminal who just assaults people. The answer is he did not. His mercenary harassers and false accusers are. He is a man of honor who I am proud to call a friend and colleague. History will remember Mike Barden as a patriot when few recognized the present danger and stood against it. Wow, that sounds awesome. I don't know about that, but that'd be cool. I'm trying. Thank you, Karen. I don't know if anybody's ever written that nice of a letter for me. You know, I did some letters for some friends a while back. One of them came to me and said, "Hey, man, I want to be an Air Force pilot." This guy actually was a skater friend of mine that was skating with a clothing company, and he would travel with the clothing company and my skateboard company. We traveled together. He was always there. He became a friend of mine. And said he wanted to be a pilot. Went through all the proper channels. Wrote him a recommendation letter. And that guy's actually an F-15 pilot right now. So, good for him. But yeah, I stopped what I was doing. I wrote that letter right away. Put some effort into it. And then another time, a friend of mine wanted to get a job. He was going to work for special needs at the school. He was going to be a teacher, contracted teacher, some kind of contracted teacher for special needs for autistic kids. And I wrote him a letter, and he ended up getting that job with the Clovis Unified School District. I don't think he works there anymore, but he worked there for a while. I have no idea what happened. I lost contact with all my friends back home. And some of them, yeah, well, that's a whole nother talk show. But so anyway, I wrote those letters for those people, and it looks like it came back to me. I'm really thankful for this. But sometimes it seems like things do come back. Okay, this is from Gerald Sby. Gerald is on Facebook. He posts a lot of stuff. He's advocating for this. He's a former FBI agent. He's a current attorney in Texas, and he's a targeted individual. And He just seems like a good guy. I'd like to meet Gerald. I'd like to meet Karen. I'd like to have just a get together, like a barbecue with all the TIs. We'd hang out, have a beer or something, whatever. Although I haven't drank in a while. Don't plan on it. I'll have a beer when this is over. With all y'all. So anyway, this is Gerald's letter that he wrote. All right, in the matter of, this is to the judge, to the honorable judge of the court. In the matter of Mr. Mike Barden, I am a Texas attorney, license number, and I don't know if I should even say that. Anyway. I think he puts that on some of his stuff that he posts, but I will make sure that just in case. So anyway, I am a Texas attorney, licensed, beep, and former FBI special agent. I am also a friend and supporter of Mr. Mike Barden, hereinafter often referred to as Mike, who requests that I submit this letter to the court. I have known Mike for about a year and heartily recommend him for his strength of character, his devotion to country as evidenced by his extensive military service, and his reliability under extreme pressure. Mike has proven to be a leader among his contemporaries. Indeed, I have previously written that Mike is an inspiration to me and to many others by his demonstrated leadership in various human rights groups. Mike is well known and respected by all, especially defenders of liberty. Man, that's like one of the coolest things anybody could ever say about me right there. Especially defenders of liberty. Yeah. That's no bigger compliment. I also know that firsthand as a target of covert FBI operations that Mike's challenges today in the honorable court are at once unfortunate and are a learning opportunity, for I have personally experienced similar episodes as Mike describes. For example, I have also been assaulted by violent men who sometimes brandish firearms and by others who sought to provoke me by physical attacks on my person. I documented many such crimes over the past 35 years. I proved that one such attack was set up by FBI and subject one Alonzo Yanez pleaded no contest to my charges of assault and battery. Please see. And then, so it's got a link to check that out. Did my computer just... Okay, I'm still recording. Even while the instant case is pending, Mike has documented numerous assaults and psychological operations and failed efforts to provoke him. That is the truth. Man, I have walked away from so many things that so many people would have lost their mind over. This has been a test, real test. Finally, Your Honor, Mike and I have learned that the best way to lead our friends and associates is to protect our liberty and to lead exemplary lives. I am certain that Mike will not disappoint anyone as he, with the permission of the court, resumes his life with dignity and grace. So with humility and respect, I request that the court consider this character reference of a worthy and admirable man, Mr. Mike Barden, and grant leniency if it please the court. Thank you and the court for consideration of this appeal. Gerald Sby, former FBI special agent. So, I don't know if somebody that is trying to that's in this position, that's trying to keep their reputation solid. It's on the line. They vouch for somebody, they vet for somebody. If this was not going on, do you think that a 28-year former NSA employee that passed a psychological evaluation every year for 28 years would immediately write me a letter after doing all these videos of all this stuff? If I was crazy and this wasn't happening, would that person write me a letter like that? Would Gerald Sby, an attorney in Texas and former FBI special agent, would he write me a letter like that? So, we're making progress. It's going to be slow. We all want this to happen right now. But there are some things that are happening. I just don't know. The good things are happening. Bad people are going away. The targeting thing, declassified FISA documents, I've been saying it over and over and over and over. I think are the key to this. They've got to be. It's one of the biggest scams ever in the history of. It's. I'll just stop with that. Okay, let me think of. Do I have anything else I need to update? There seems to be a couple of new articles every single day, new videos. I can't even believe how many people are complaining about being targeted. It seems like there are millions of people that are being targeted. I can't keep up with all of them. People are sending me messages asking me for advice. I don't know if they're... I'm not calling any of you perps. I'm just saying it's hard to tell sometimes flipping through the the sea of people over there, you know, like to take the time and go through everybody. So that takes me a while sometimes. So yeah, everybody trying to contact me through Facebook or Twitter. I'm doing my best. People are sending me mail. I got some fan mail. That's the first time I've ever got that. Thanks for that. That was kind of weird, actually. I mean, you're not weird. It just feels weird. Okay. I'm gonna call it a night. I appreciate everybody's positivity. It's been sending that to me, and if you have any, that's what I needed to ask. I can't ask anybody for legal advice, but if anybody has ever, I've got a place to go to ask for advice for pro se advice. But if anybody's ever done this or has some good information on pro se, on maybe some links to some videos, there's some people defending themselves pro se, literature, anything at all, please send it to me. Michael Barden, number 8 at Twitter, or on Twitter, so it's at Michael Barden, number 8, and Facebook is just my name, Michael Barden. A lot of people have been asking me for my email. I'm not going to give my email out on YouTube or Facebook or anything. A couple people have my email, like Karen's got it, Gerald's got it. Somebody was giving me a hard time, like, give me your email. These people are sending me. Sorry, if I don't see your face, if I haven't talked to you on the phone, if we don't have like a pretty solid relationship already, I'm not giving you my email. If you don't understand that, then yeah. Anyway, check out these last videos I just did. These 1 through, I think I did like 6 parts, 5, 6 parts, something like that. I've been filming since November last year, as much as I can, trying to catch these people doing this and put enough of it together to show a pattern, to show that it happens over and over and over and over. Show their standard operating procedures, their tactics, and stuff like that. So I hope I'm doing a good job with that, doing what I can with cell phone and GoPro computer. My paperwork sitting over there for my court case. Guess I'm complaining about some stuff. I guess I might as well throw one more thing in there before I go. You know, I kind of do this not to complain, but just to document all of the different things that happen, small details, and then it's like gaslighting. Like, I know that was there. Okay, so I have all my paperwork, all my court paperwork over here. I ran an insurance agency for 5 years. I had thousands of files that I kept in order. I can keep these these court papers in order. I had my police discovery in a blue folder with all of my court papers in my bag, and if I took it out of my bag, I put it in my closet in a specific place. And it was always one of those two places. I'm going through all my court stuff the day before yesterday, and it is nowhere to be found. It's like 20 pages of all this nonsense that's conflicting, and I didn't make a copy of it. I didn't scan it. I need to get that again, and I have a weird feeling about that. This is the type of thing that happens that you try to explain to somebody, and they're like, why would somebody steal your... Well, here's why. If they have multiple reports in a police discovery, and I'm making progress, and I have that police discovery, and I need that, and they messed it up, while I'm at the store, all they have to do is come in my house, take the police discovery, and when I request another one, they give me a new version of it, and it's just typed out. It looks like it's typed out on a damn typewriter. So I'm curious when I request that discovery what that's going to say. We'll see. Time will tell. There's always a new surprise coming around the corner, so I don't even care anymore. I'm going to walk right into it. They do, take me down. They take me down. Do it for y'all. All right. Everybody have a good night. Thanks for listening to me read my letters and brag about special agents sending me letters. Sounds like something out of a movie or a sitcom TV show sometimes. I swear. I can't believe some of the stuff that comes out of my mouth. That's reality. Truth is stranger than fiction sometimes. And I got asked to be on... Man, I keep thinking of new stuff to talk about. All right. I got asked to be on this YouTube channel. And, man, I know some of you hate it when people do that, but like I said, I got cardboard all over my face and dust and stuff. These guys contacted me. I've never heard of their show. Looks like they've been doing shows for a while. They've got like 4 guys, a lot of different people on their show, and kind of like Jason does. But they're all like atheists. I don't think they're Satanists. But a lot of Satanists don't tell you if they are anyway. I think they're just atheists, and these guys are like science, pagan religion. One of the guys' last name is Ron Ra. He changed his name to that. So Ra's the sun god. So I'm sure he's into, the occult and stuff like that. The stuff is interesting to read about, but the further I got into it, it was kind of sketchy, and seems like, I don't know. But these guys are all atheists, and I've been talking about praying lately, and what they do is they get people on their show that are like preachers and different stuff like that, and they like debate with these guys. So I hope they're not thinking I'm going to debate with them about religion, because that's not what I'm going to do. I'll talk to them about organized stalking and harassment and, everything, but I don't like to take this there. It could be spiritual. I'm not saying it's not. It could be. It could be all these different things, but the way that I'm looking at it is there are human beings here on this planet, regardless if there's supernatural, whatever, there are human beings on this planet using other human beings for profit through stalking, harassment, torture, slander, through compartmentalized groups that punish a target because if they can show that target is acting out and dangerous, they can justify their budget for the next year. That's what I want to talk about. I lost track, man. I started going into that. I had to think too deep after that day of typing look for hats and shipping 60 items out. So so for all my Christian friends, um, if you see me go on this show, don't freak out. I haven't become a devil worshiper or anything like that. That's the furthest thing from what I'm going to do. But I'm not afraid to talk to these guys. You know, it'll be a conversation. Might be fun. Um, this has got to be one of the worst videos I've done, but I needed to do it. To update this, a lot of people messaged me and like, "What's going on?" And I kind of almost feel obligated now to kind of keep people updated with new information and what's going on with my thing, because a lot of people are nice enough to follow and research and send me information and look things up, and that is, especially after being isolated for so long, to finally kind of get back into a group of people that are like working together and trying to do something positive. It's really a big relief. Yeah, because for a minute you think that it's like the end of the world. You know, you're not sure what's really going on, and then you get this thing figured out, network with some people, you understand, and then you can get back to functioning properly. For the most part. All right. I can't remember the name of that damn show. I'm sorry, guys. I checked it out. I watched one of your shows. There was some preacher on there, and uh, he was. You guys were going back and forth, and I just kind of. I researched that. I've researched everything, and I've kind of. I shouldn't say everything, but I've kind of gotten over that whole debate. I'm just like, here's where I stand. I'll just say this before I even go on the show. I hope there is a God. I have as much faith as my brain will possibly let me have. I pray when I get up in the morning. I pray when I go to bed. A lot of times I forget, but I do my best to remember to do that. And nobody answers me. I don't have conversations with God. I'm like, hey, God, blah, blah, blah. And then God's like, hey, do this. Because I've heard a lot of people say that happens. I shouldn't do that. I've heard a lot of people say that happens. I'm not saying I don't believe them, because at this point there's so many things that I have had my eyes open to that I'm just you could tell me just about anything and I won't discredit. I won't get into it, but they're like, well, hey, you never know. But yeah, I don't know. Actually, there was a guy, police officer. I don't know if I want to say where this was. I think it was, yeah, it was like the State of the Union, which is like the greatest State of the Union. But that police officer said that there was some abandoned child. I can't remember the entire story, but the police officer said that God literally talked to him. He heard God's voice in his head and told him to adopt this kid and take care of it. And the guy was like, okay. And him and his wife adopted the kid, and everybody was like, that's perfectly normal to hear God in your head and then have a conversation with him and talk back and forth. I don't know. It's never happened to me. But then, when people describe V2K and they describe the technology and how it works and show government documents, thank God, okay, not even joking, thank God that I have never got V2K. But imagine the people that do, and then there's people that talk to God. Which one is it? Like, how can you decipher? Like, really? And I'm not saying that God can't talk to you, because he does. Awesome for you. I'm jealous. I'd like to have some conversations with that dude. To ask a couple questions about some things, but it's a tough one. So I just keep trying to have as much faith as possible. So anyway, that's kind of where I'm at with that. You know, a lot of people are like, Jesus Christ is the only way, 100%. You know, there's 6,000 religions. Man, I hope I'm not losing any friends here. I'm just trying to be as real as possible so people understand who I am. And, there's like 6,000 religions on the planet. Are the Jewish people wrong? Are the... Ooh, I won't even go there. I don't want to get kicked off of YouTube talking about these other folks. Anyway. See, I don't like talking about religion. I like talking about like what's going on here in the world. I like to pray in private. But now I feel I have to explain all this stuff because I'm going to be on this talk show, and it's not the normal thing. These guys asked me if I'd come on and talk about gang stalking and targeting individuals. I'm not going to. Of course I'm going to do that. So, I'll just look it up real quick. This video is ridiculously long, and I just had to sit here and listen to me stutter and stammer, read the these letters all choppy. Practice. Okay, so these guys sent me a message. Let's see. It's called the Non Sequitur Show. Yeah, would you be willing to come on our show to discuss the targeted individual issue? I'd be happy to, I say. Excellent. I'll get with you later tonight with the details. Cool. Let's do it. More interviews, the better, right? All right, everybody. I'm going to bed. I hope you all have a great rest of the week. And keep researching, keep doing videos, keep networking with people. I don't want to say ignore the perps, but be vigilant, research them, learn them in this. Good night.